Welcome back, collective. Thank you so much for tuning in this week and being open to receive your collective reading. If you would like to book a private personal reading with me, my shop is now open. Yay! So I will put that link in the description. Can't talk. I'll put the link in the description below, okay? But we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in. For this collective, for someone in this collective, you've been navigating like the shadow realm, okay? For a lot of you, what you've been diving into, this is for a collective of people that are very intentional. They probably have a practice of their own of some sorts. And this is for a collective that has really been working on integrating their shadows. And whether you realize that you've been integrating them or not, you've been integrating them. And if shadow work is very symbolic to you, or something that has been coming up a lot lately, as always, use your discernment. But I feel like that's going to be very a resonating thing throughout this reading, okay? So we have the King of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and then the King of Wands. This entire reading feels like it's been your journey of balancing out this fire and water energy. You have been learning to embody and to withhold, like to hold within yourself a nature of duality, a nature of polarity, and being able to integrate those. So for this season that you've been moving through, however long that may be, it's been a journey that's been very uncomfortable. And it almost brings with it this feeling or this sense of like a pressure cooker, and just like constantly feeling like the pressure just keeps growing, the heat just keeps building and rising, and like it just, like it's this energy that's like something that's about to like bubble over, right? And we have the Three of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Lovers reversed. All three of those cards reversed, okay? There's some sort of situation from your past. I'm hearing like for a lot of this collective, this is like the tail end of the summer, like of last year, that there was this situation that really kind of just left you wondering like, what the fuck? And honestly, like kind of left you kind of in a state of confusion. It wasn't what it, like, honestly, like just one of those situations where it leaves everybody with a question mark above their head and just kind of like, what was that? And what happened? And where did it all go? And just a big fat question mark is what I keep visualizing. But we have the Moon card in the unknown and in the Fool now, and the Two of Wands, Five of Pentacles. Wow. So it's really interesting because you've been navigating this period where everything has pretty much felt like the unknown, but you still keep telling yourself that like you have a fear of the unknown, as if that's not what you've been navigating for months. And I feel like this reading is really like a huge part of this reading was to be able to bring you this clarity, to be able to bring you this information. Because when we tell ourselves a story or a narrative repeatedly, like we start to believe it to the point that we don't even question it or know to question if we're out. Like we like realize that we're in something, or we start to think that we're in something and that we're incapable of navigating something, where the fear takes over, and we just will immediately start backpedaling, backtracking. And it's like, this is literally just a part of the natural cycle. Like, this is just a part of the natural cycle. And I feel like for a lot of you, that's kind of like what you're being made aware of that you're being made aware of the fact that this is kind of a pattern for you, and that you're wanting to move past this. You're wanting to break this pattern of realizing that you're in something or thinking that you're in something, and letting that be all consuming to the point that you're not even like game planning with yourself of like how to get out, or what it would look like when you get out, what it would feel like. And so we kind of just like keep repeating these same narratives to ourselves over and over and over again. And because we're telling ourselves that, our brain is bringing us proof of that. Okay, so like then we're constantly more aware of the things that we don't really want to have our focus on. Let's see. The Fool is very significant. So in the traditional sense, the Fool typically has like this little sack attached. Okay, like they're going on this new venture. They've got nothing but like they could carry on this little sack. I literally cannot think of the name of it right now. And that sack, like, it represents what you're bringing with you, like what came with, right? And depending on the aspect of, like, depending on the other energies in the reading, it really determines on if what you brought with you is going to be helpful, harmful, or like, why did you fucking bring that type of thing, you know what I mean? And it feels like what you chose to bring with you is a lot of limiting beliefs, and things that just like don't serve you. Like a lot of like, even your motivators are just like rooted in things that you don't even necessarily believe or feel. But we have this Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Wands, which is really, and the Two of Swords reverse, which is really showcasing and highlighting the cyclical nature of things and how we're navigating this period. We're wow, King of Swords on the bottom, so like you're really stepping into that. We have the King of Cups, the King of Wands, and the King of Swords, and it's just like really connecting with this mind, body, spirit part of us, okay? And utilizing all these parts to navigate. So like, you know, I mentioned like you've been navigating this underworld, you've been navigating this shadow realm, and you've been feeling this sense of fear, but like you are the light. And so like what I'm visualizing is it's this pitch black, it's just nothingness, this void, and there's this white ball of light that is slowly brightening up as it comes closer, like as it gets closer. And it's just like, as the darkness, or as a creature in the darkness, to see this light coming at me, I would be fearful of it. I would be questioning. As the darkness, I would be more concerned with the light, if that makes sense. And you, as the light, as this essence, you're worried about the unknown, not even the darkness, not even the shadow, just the unknown aspect of it, not knowing and realizing like who you are. The Hierophant reverse, I feel like a lot of this is like because of some rigidity that was like repeated to you throughout school, throughout adolescence, throughout life. Queen of Swords reverse, yeah, like it really led to you feeling just really unsure. Nine of Swords and Four of Pentacles, almost like clinging and hoarding the things that we enjoy out of fear that they will abandon us, or how long until we have it. So it's almost like we self-sabotage because we get in these states where we're so fearful of being abandoned, so fearful of somebody not liking us, that we start to act in ways that don't even reflect who we truly are, that give the energy of someone that is almost desperate, trying to prove something to somebody else. And it's like not knowing that this person was aware of it this whole time. They thought that you were too. So when you start this desperation, for lack of a better term, when this desperation comes up, it's really confusing to them because they're like, I thought you were like secure, sure of yourself, not overly holding on, not clingy, not possessive. I don't know if that resonates for somebody. 7 of Cups and 6 of Swords. It's almost like, okay, so the universe, it's like you're being presented with these options. You're being presented with these choices. You're being presented with a lot, okay? And it's like there's some, I'm going to pull some clarification real quick, because it feels like kind of being like in a freeze state. Wow, Justice and the Sun. Being in this freeze state, thinking, I don't want to make the wrong choice. I don't want to make the wrong choice. Okay, so the way that this is demonstrated in traditional tarot, there are several different chalices, and these chalices all have something different in them, and not everything is something you would want to pick. Like I think there's a snake, that's one of them. And that's really the only one that I can remember at this time. But like they're not all something that you would want to pick, okay? And for some of you, you're realizing that because of this place of desperation, when something presents itself to you, you just, out of fear of abandonment or neglect or it not coming, like, and like deep feelings of unworthiness, it's like selecting just the first thing that came up, right? Thinking that was the sign, that was the person, and you were proving something by being so willing to go for it, okay? To the point that even when there were things coming up that were red flags, like you just kept trusting, thinking that was it, okay? It's just like, again, being a little confused. And so now you're in this state where it's almost impossible for you to make a decision. That's what it feels like, because you're in this state of paralysis, in this state of fear. 5 of Wands. There was a lot of conflict. There was a lot of heartbreak. There was a lot of conflicting feelings within yourself, a lot of conflicting feelings with your inner and outer worlds. The last time that you chose, and you chose wrong, which I don't believe in. I believe that everything is, it's working out, but like you chose wrong, and there's like this fear of not wanting to go back to that, not wanting to fall back into these cycles. And we have the Sun and Justice coming out to kind of shine some light and some positivity on that, to let you know that things are working out, things are balancing, the scales are leveling back out, and it's really more so about shifting to being open to receive. 2 of Pentacles, and learning how to balance as you go and grow, and really, whoa, let me see what this card was. Okay, so I feel like a lot of this fear, okay, so just to kind of like help guide and navigate through this fear, something that can be an anchor, or that can help ground you and be something that helps, I'm just going to leave it at that. Something that helps is to remind yourself that, what was it? Oh, that boundaries are very, very important. And when we go back on our boundaries, it always makes things more confusing because it tends to be a series of letting shit slide. And it literally is one of those situations where you give someone an inch and they take a mile. And it getting to a point where they're like, please, 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 like, I just need you to do this one more thing. I just need you to be here this one more time. I need you, like, come on, don't you love me, don't you love me? And you're literally like, are you stupid? Like, I've literally been here X amount of times. I'm depleted. Like, you give me something back. And they then start gaslighting you, and they're like, what? And they keep demanding more from you. And it's like, that's not how this shit works. And so I feel like that's really important for this, you know, season moving up. And you're really coming into that. When we have this Queen of Swords, like, that's what this period has been about, is like, you've learned the lesson. Like, you've connected with your head and heart space. Like, you've learned. It's just about reinforcing what you've learned and remaining true to that, remaining true to yourself, and not self-abandoning, not self-sabotaging, not hurting yourself before someone else can, and therefore sometimes hurting other people because, like, our limiting beliefs, or like there can be a distortion that makes us misinterpret people's actions, and then we can react and retaliate in ways that are incredibly hurtful and don't represent who we are. Let's get a little bit more to close this out. Keep in mind that it's also more than okay to rest and grieve. We are in a liminal space within a liminal space, okay? So winter itself is a pretty, like, liminal space and time, and, like, seasonally, but we are, like, in that cusp between seasons. So there's, like, a whole nother level of being in a liminal space at play. So if things feel confusing, it's like there's a lot of illusionary magic going on at this time. And then you also have to take into consideration just collectively what a lot of folks are moving through right now and experiencing. Okay. Can I get a message to close this out? The Four of Swords keeps making its way out. Okay, let's see. Wow. We have the Hermit. Yeah, and going back to that liminal space thing, it's okay to sit with yourself. It's okay to take time out to really connect deeper to deeper parts of you. It's okay to really, like, connect with your emotional world, to connect with that emotional realm, to really withdraw into the self and know that we receive spiritual wisdom and downloads in those states as well. The Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant, the Four of Pentacles. Know that you're moving towards stability, and a stability that doesn't need you to cling tirelessly to it. You're moving into a season, you're already there. It's honestly like your external is aligning. So, like, the shift's already happening. Your outside world, things are just still moving. The pieces are still moving around to reflect these changes. But you are entering a season of life where things literally just fall in your lap. Like, life gets to be easy. It gets to be easy. We have the Six of Cups. This is this is going to be very healing for the inner child that's within all of us, right? This is going to be a season, or you're entering an era. Like, this is a lifelong thing. That's what I'm like, keep trying to tell this collective, is that, like, the reason why this is, like, so slow burn energy, Eight of Pentacles and the unknown, is because this is literally like a lifetime shift. okay? And this is tied to a generational, like, energetic tie that is breaking, that has been breaking, that has been becoming unintertwined, and slow burn. It's just very, very important. Making sure that you're pacing yourself, nourishing yourself, resting. Anything else? Interesting. Some things that I'm channeling, just to end this off, are like Libby Lou and Lisa Frank. And for some reason, that song, Star Girl Interlude. Okay, I think this is going to be the end of the channel. The moon, understand, wow. Understand that when you withdraw in, when you take the time to go within, to rest, to connect with self, that you are receiving just by being in that state. Okay. All right. So until next time, collective, hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great month. And again, if you are interested in a private reading with me, you can visit the link below. Just to kind of explain the process, you go through, you click on the general reading tab. What will happen is whenever you go to check out, you will fill in your email in a space, and I will then reach out to you, like once purchase is complete or whatever. I will then reach out to you via that email, and we'll touch base on if you want a general reading, a love reading. If you have any questions, we'll go from there. But okay, Diva, until next time.